AITA for telling my girlfriend I don't want to split bills 50-50 anymore. I, 28, have been dating my girlfriend, 27F, for almost 2 years. From the beginning, we agreed to split everything 50-50, rent, groceries, dates, etc. I thought that was fair, even though I make significantly more than she does. I'm in tech, she's a teacher. Lately, I've started to feel weird about it. I cover some extras here and there, like vacations or bigger gifts, but the basic stuff is always split down the middle. The thing is, she's clearly struggling financially, and I know she's been dipping into her savings just to keep up. I brought it up and said, I don't think we should do this strict 50-50 anymore, maybe something more proportional to income. Her reaction was not great. She said she doesn't want to feel kept or less independent, and that she wants to be treated as an equal. I get that, but isn't real equality also being realistic with our situations? I don't think I'm being manipulative or trying to control her. I just don't think someone should go broke to maintain a split that only works on paper. AITA for wanting to change the dynamic even though she didn't ask me to.
What happened on the first date that made you realize there won't be a second? One time I was asked on a date, but before I could go on said date, the guy had a list of demands for the date. My hair was pink, I have facial piercings, and I dress very noticeably goth. We had even met at a gothic industrial night at a local nightclub. So the list: dye my hair a natural color, remove all piercings, and dress more normal. This all needed to be done in order for him to be seen in public with me. My immediate reaction as a lonely young girl was to give in to the demands, cause in my mind he must have been right. And I painted this image in my head that if we worked out we would at the very least both dress up and go dancing together at the local goth club. But then it hit me just how stupid that was. So I very aggressively told him no, and asked why bother asking girls out that he meets there if he wants a chick that wouldn't even show up there. I blocked him, realizing there wouldn't even be a first date. Men who married their girlfriend just because they felt pressured to do it? Are you happy? I'm a woman. As I've gotten older, I've watched the men around me, friends and friends of friends, marry women they really didn't want to marry. They've even admitted it, each saying they did it because they were dating her for 5 years plus and felt pressured to make it official. Some have told me they didn't feel like their girlfriend was their soulmate or even a good match. But basically the pressure was becoming too great, and their girlfriend of 5+ years and their girlfriend's family was starting to get impatient, so they did it. We talk a lot of women settling, but nothing about how often men do. I think people should get married out of love, commitment, and admiration. That people should get married happily and excitedly. But what's this? Men of Reddit who married their longtime girlfriends due to pressure and pressure alone. Are you happy, or would you warn against it?
What's the wildest? Mouth wrote a check that their ass couldn't cash moment you've ever seen. I was once at a car show and saw a man get in the face and start yelling at another guy in a wheelchair. I have no idea what started this, but after a few seconds of back and forth, and the standing guy putting his finger in the face of wheelchair guy with the "I'm gonna kick your ass" body language, wheelchair guy used his arms to launch himself out of the chair, grabbed the other guy in a headlock, dragged him to the ground, and then just pounded his face in. Absolutely nobody would do anything to intervene, because who's going to put their hands on a paraplegic giving someone a well-deserved beating? When wheelchair guy was done, he army crawled back to his chair, stood it up, crawled in, and just wheeled away slowly, like nothing happened. The other guy's face was a mess and had blood streaming down his face. It took him a while to get up and stumble off. I sometimes wonder if the guy that got beat up ever tells people about the time he got his ass kicked by a guy in a wheelchair. Men who cook, what was the first dish you ever mastered in your life? When I was growing up, my mom and stepdad required each of us to know how to cook 3 dishes to help out in the evening. One had to be from scratch, and 2 could be out of a box. My scratch recipe was what my family calls chicken turnovers. You can make the dough by hand if you want, but the easy way is to use Pillsbury crescent rolls. You stitch together 2 crescent rolls to create a rectangular patch of dough. You fill the rectangle with a large spoonful of a mixture of shredded chicken, cream cheese, and seasonings. You can add some frozen or par-cooked veggies too if you want. Then you fold the dough over to create a neat little pouch and make sure any edges are making good contact. Then you bake them until golden brown. They're delicious, and I mastered them around 10 years old. Edit to add: if you want to get into cooking, I would say start with some simple dishes you really enjoy. Learn how to make those and expand from there. The thing about cooking is that if you learn certain basic techniques, you can apply them to all kinds of dishes pretty easily. To learn some of those techniques, I would suggest watching episodes of Alton Brown's Good Eats from Food Network. Can be found on HBO Plus if you have it, or Basics with Babish on YouTube. AITA for breaking up with my girlfriend after she refused to go on a nice date. I planned because it was on a Wednesday. I-27 recently hit a small parlay win and decided to do something special for my girlfriend 25FW. We've been together for almost a year and things have been good, but she always says she wants me to plan more thoughtful dates. So I booked you a reservation at this really nice restaurant she always talks about. Hard to get into, amazing chef. I spent $800 total on the reservation. Drinks included. It was for a Wednesday night because that was the only time I could get a table. I told her it would be a surprise, and when I finally revealed the plan, she looked disappointed. She said Wednesday was a bad day for her. She has work early the next morning, and she would rather do something on a Friday or Saturday. She said she would rather do a multi-event thing, like dinner, the Nash show, or bar hopping, and asked if I could cancel and reschedule. I explained that this was a special reservation and the timing could not be moved. Also that I could not afford to do something like this without the parlay win. She said she appreciated the gesture, but still would rather do something else on a weekend. No compromise, no let's make it work, just flat out no. That made me feel like nothing. I did whatever enough, like it was more about the vibe than the effort. So I told her, if this is how she acts when I try to do something special, then maybe we're not right for each other, and I ended it. Now my friends are saying I overreacted, and I'm low-key thinking I might have AITA for walking away over this.
My best friend 28F kissed me 28M, and now my GF 26F needs time to think. What do? I 28M don't know what to do. I just need advice. Last night, while on the way home from a movie with my GF Sarah, 26F, my female best friend Jessica, 28F, called and told us that her car had broken down and if we could pick her up. I told her yes, and for her to send me her location. My GF asked me to drop her off at home because she had to be up for work early. Jessica was 23 minutes away, and when I picked her up, she was crying as soon as she got into the car. As I drove her home, she just started venting about how hard life has been, and I just listened, letting her get it all out. She lived 19 minutes away from where her car broke down. As we pulled into the driveway, she thanked me for always being there, and then hugged me. We hugged and said goodbye all the time, but this time, Jessica kissed me as we separated. It completely caught me off guard, and I just looked at her, confused. She said, "I'm sorry, my emotions got the best of me." All I could think to ask was, "Why did you do that?" She replied, "I'm sorry," as she got out of the car and walked into the house. As I drove home, I couldn't stop thinking, why did my best friend of 9 years just kiss me? We've always had a platonic relationship. Why did she kiss me? The next morning I told Sarah what happened and she got really upset. She asked me questions like, "Have you two done this before? Why would she kiss you randomly?" Jessica and Sarah had formed their own friendship, and over the past 3 years they had become close. Sarah tried calling Jessica 3 times, but it went to voicemail each time, which only made her more upset. While crying, Sarah told me she trusted me and couldn't believe this came out of nowhere. I kept reassuring her that I loved her and that I had no idea why Jessica kissed me. In the end, Sarah packed a small bag and said she needed time to think. She would be staying with her sister. I don't know what to do. I can't reach Jessica on the phone, And Sarah doesn't want to talk to me right now. I've never done anything with Jessica. She knows I love Sarah and that I'm the happiest I've been in a long time. I can't wrap my head around what happened. Recently, I received a lengthy message from Sarah expressing how deeply hurt she is and her confusion about what to believe. She mentioned that she trusted me and couldn't fathom why either of us would hurt her like this. A week ago, I was discussing my plans to propose to Sarah with a friend, and now I'm sitting alone in our apartment, feeling upset and unsure of my next steps. I think I've lost a longtime friend and my girlfriend, whom I really love. I really need some advice.